For decades, Jennifer Lopez has built her image around love, chasing it, losing it, and singing about it. But now, the man who first said, "I do," to her is exposing what he says is the real reason their marriage ended. It's a story full of secrets, betrayal, and a shocking accusation that could rewrite J.Lo's love history. It all started with one interview, one moment that Jennifer Lopez probably thought was harmless. Sitting across from Howard Stern, she spoke openly about her love life, something she's done many times before. But this time, her words hit harder than usual. J.Lo looked calm, confident, and unapologetic as she said she had never been truly loved by any of her exes. She claimed the men from her past simply weren't capable of loving her the way she deserved. For fans, it sounded like typical J.Lo, self-assured, reflective, maybe even empowered. But to the people she'd once shared her life with, those words landed like a punch. In just a few sentences, she painted every ex, from her first husband to her most recent, as emotionally broken. And that's where everything started to unravel, because while Jennifer was speaking her truth on live radio, one of her exes was listening. And he wasn't just offended. He was furious the moment Jennifer's interview hit the air. Ojani Noa didn't stay silent. Instead, he took to Instagram and unleashed a storm that no one saw coming. His words weren't measured or polite. They were raw, emotional, and furious. In his post, Ojani fired back, saying Jennifer was twisting the truth to make herself look like the victim. "Stop putting us down," he wrote. "Stop putting me down with your victim card." And then came the line that lit up the internet. "You're the one who couldn't keep it in your pants." Within minutes, screenshots of his rant spread across X and TikTok. Some fans were shocked. Others said they'd been waiting years for someone to finally call J.Lo out. Ojani accused her of cheating during their marriage, claiming he stayed loyal while she begged him to stay quiet to protect her rising career. He described himself as faithful, honest, and loving, saying he gave up everything to support her at the start of her fame. But once the spotlight hit, he says she left him behind without a second thought. For a man who's been silent for decades, this was a full-blown eruption. Not just against Jennifer, but against the version of the story he says she's been selling to the world for years. And while Lopez hasn't said a word about his claims, the internet already picked sides. But this wasn't the first time Ojani had something to say about their past. And the deeper you go, the messier it gets. To understand this new wave of drama, you have to go back to where it all began. Before the fame, before the movies, before Jennifer Lopez became J.Lo. In 1997, she was a rising star fresh off Selena, and Ojani Noa was a young waiter chasing the Hollywood dream. Their connection was instant, the kind of whirlwind romance that feels unstoppable. Within months, they were married, promising forever. But forever didn't last long. Behind the glamour, their relationship was already crumbling. Fame was knocking at Jennifer's door, and Ojani says he could feel himself fading into the background. By the time Out of Sight hit theaters, their marriage had become a headline waiting to happen. A year later, it was over. The divorce was quick, but the bitterness lingered. Ojani later worked for her restaurant Madres in Pasadena, only to be fired and file a lawsuit that turned ugly fast. There were NDAs, restraining orders, and years of silence, a quiet war that never really ended. When Jennifer went on radio decades later claiming she'd never been truly loved, it wasn't just another soundbite to Ojani. It was salt in an old wound, and this time, he wasn't about to let her rewrite history, because as far as he's concerned, he's not the villain in her story. He's the chapter she keeps trying to erase. After years of silence, people wondered, why now? Why dig up a marriage that ended more than 2 decades ago? According to Ojani, he didn't plan to. But hearing Jennifer's words on national radio was the last straw. In his eyes, she keeps turning her past relationships into a sob story, painting herself as the victim while everyone else looks like the problem. He said he's tired of the lies, tired of being reduced to another man who couldn't love her. He insists he was loyal, the one who stood beside her before the fame, when money was tight and the dream felt far away. He claims he gave up his own goals, his own life, to help Jennifer chase hers. And once she made it, she left him behind with nothing but the blame. But there's more to his outbursts than anger. You can almost sense the hurt in his words, like someone who's been watching the same story told wrong for years. He says every time Jennifer gives another love interview, it feels like she's taking a shot at him all over again, and maybe, this time, He wanted the world to hear his version, unfiltered and unedited. The version that doesn't make him the heartbreaker, but the one who got his heart broken first. But even as Ojani speaks out, Jennifer stays silent. And that silence might be louder than anything he's said so far. While Ojani's words exploded across social media, Jennifer Lopez said nothing.
No tweets. No statements.
No interviews to clear the air. Just silence. And that silence spoke volumes. For some fans, her quiet response felt like strength. They said she didn't need to defend herself, that she's been through enough public drama to know when to rise above it. But others saw it differently, as avoidance. A way to sidestep yet another controversy, without ever addressing the pain she may have caused. Online, the debate turned fierce. Hashtags like hashtag Team JLo and hashtag Team Ojani started trending on X and TikTok. Some called Ojani bitter and attention-hungry, accusing him of chasing clout after decades out of the spotlight. But others argued he had every right to defend himself, especially if he'd been unfairly portrayed for years. Clips of Jennifer's interview were replayed alongside Ojani's Instagram rant, and fans started dissecting every word, every facial expression, every old interview from the 2000s to see who was telling the truth. And just when the noise began to fade, people started connecting the dots. Realizing this wasn't the first time Jennifer had made similar claims about her past relationships, which made everyone wonder, is this part of a bigger pattern? As the dust settled, fans began noticing something, a pattern that's hard to ignore. Every time Jennifer Lopez moves on from a relationship, the story somehow sounds the same. She's the one who gave everything, and the man was never capable of loving her back. It happened after her split from Mark Anthony. It surfaced again with Alex Rodriguez. And now, even Ben Affleck, the man she once called her soulmate, has quietly become another name in that narrative. Each time, J.Lo seems to reinvent herself, reshaping her image around heartbreak and rebirth. To the public, it looks empowering. But to some, it's starting to feel like a cycle that keeps repeating. Online discussions on Reddit and TikTok are filled with fans debating whether J.Lo might be rewriting her love life for publicity. Some say she's just unlucky in love, chasing perfection that doesn't exist. Others think she uses heartbreak as a way to stay in the headlines, feeding a persona that thrives on resilience and reinvention. And now, with Ojani's accusations stirring the pot again, that theory is catching fire. People are asking, is Jennifer Lopez really the woman who can't find love, or the one who can't stop controlling the story? For Jennifer Lopez, image has always been everything. From the red carpet to her love songs, she's built a career around passion, resilience, and that larger-than-life idea of true love. But now, that image is being tested again. Ojani's outburst comes at a time when J.Lo is already under scrutiny, not just for her personal life, but for her career moves. She's promoting a new Netflix rom-com and releasing fresh music, all centered around love and self-empowerment. And while her fans see it as classic J.Lo, critics are starting to wonder if the constant relationship drama is beginning to overshadow the art. For some, this scandal adds another layer to her unlucky in love legacy, the woman who can have anything except the one thing she's always wanted, lasting love. But for others, it makes her more relatable. Proof that even global superstars can get caught in messy emotions, old wounds, and human mistakes. Either way, J.Lo's silence is powerful. It keeps her mysterious, untouchable, but also leaves room for doubt. Every day she stays quiet, the narrative shifts, and fans fill in the blanks themselves. Right now, the world isn't just watching her next movie or album, they're watching how she handles the story. Because in Hollywood, perception is everything. And one wrong move could change how the world sees Jennifer Lopez forever.